This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
You know, when people like reach out and ask for help and it's something as simple as, hey, shipping her a box of tampons.
The one thing about this girl is she's never asked me for anything. She may have hinted about tampons.
July 26th, 2020. My name's Corey Winfield, and this is the 217 Recovery Podcast. Got a new mic, testing it out tonight. Normal co-host Marnie, she's asleep, and so I'm just gonna let her sleep. And I figured I would do the podcast with myself. It's been a while since I've done a podcast by myself, so we'll get into some storytelling here in a little bit. But I do want to remind you, though, in September, it's almost August, but in September there's a couple of recovery events that I think you should be at. If you're looking to expand your role in your recovery, take ownership, responsibility, meet new people, maybe just plan a road trip with some people that you hang out with and you're in Michigan, then come on. In Paw Paw, Michigan on the 19th, there is a recovery event. The details are at 217recovery.com, but it's going to be in Paw Paw. There's going to be speakers, Drew Hill, I believe that's his last name. He's going to be there, and a few other people as well, but it'll be a good time. Like I say, good time to make a road trip with 3 or 4 buddies that are in recovery, like maybe if you're in Lansing. I know a lot of people listen to us over on the east part of the state, and, well, actually kind of all over the state, but, yeah, Grand Haven, Benton Harbor, St. Joe area. You know, grab some friends, you know, go to Paw Paw. And then on the 24th of September, it's the recovery event called the Ufam Rally. And that's in Lansing at the Capitol building on the lawn, which is kind of our way to show up to go, hey, you know, you can't forget about us. We're in recovery and we're proud of it. And look at us. We're all sober. We're all here. We're having a good time. And I went last year. We were a media sponsor for the Ufam Rally, and it was great, man. It really was. And it was good to see that many people in recovery just hanging out. I had to chase some people down because we had these name badges. And, you know, the one thing about, you know, going to meetings and stuff, you're like, hey, my name's Corey. I'm a person in recovery. Well, you're probably not like that, but that's what I say. So we had these little name tags that said, hello, my name is. So that way, we, you know, you can walk up to somebody and, hey, what's up, Tom? Hey, what's up, Corey? And it had, you know, our logo and stuff on it too, so which was pretty cool. But I had to chase this one lady down. She would not put one on. And I'm like, look, people want to know your name. Put it on. But she finally did. So, yeah, it's a good time, though. It's a good time. We're going to have hats that we're selling for charity, of course. And that charity is us. We are a 501c3, and we're recognized by the government. So whatever money gets donated, you know, is tax deductible. So think about that as well. And I'm going to start talking about the Fantasy Football League probably in the next couple of weeks. So if you're into fantasy football, never been into fantasy football, but thought, man, I'll give it a shot. Hopefully we'll have some great prizes. But the more important thing is learning to play fantasy football sober. I had never done it until this last year. And it was something that I'm glad I did, you know, and never did it sober. I always made really horrible trades because I was drunk and, you know, pissed everybody in the league off because I was drunk. And it can be done, let me tell you. So I was talking to some guys today about Vivitrol. And if you're not familiar with it, let me break it down for you. It blocks your receptors in your brain. So that way, like if you do alcohol or opiates, it blocks the receptors so you don't get buzzed. You don't get that, I don't want to call it a release, but you don't get buzzed. If you drink, you don't get that, oh yeah, that, you don't get it. I've been on Vivitrol a few times, and I tried to drink on Vivitrol. I did not get buzzed. My body got drunk. And if you know someone who's on Vivitrol, or if you're thinking about getting on it, you know, I'll just tell you this is a waste of money. That you would buy alcohol is a waste of money. I mean, a lot of times people, this is what I've heard, will get on Vivitrol and they're trying to get off of opiates, and they will try to do too much to think, oh, and I kind of did the same thing with drinking too. I thought, well, I'll just get the super extra hard stuff. No, still didn't get a buzz, and I just got sick. My body was drunk, not my mind. It was really frustrating. It made me quite mad, being an addict and wanting what I wanted at the time, and I couldn't have it, and it really, really made me mad. So if you're thinking about Vivitrol, do some research on it. I'm sure your doctor will have it for you, the research, but you can't get drunk. Can't get high. I've heard people saying, well, yeah, that's when I switched to meth. Okay, well, that's where you're going to have a sit-down talk with yourself and, decide, do you really want to change? If you're trying to do it for someone else, hey, I'll stop drinking. Hey, I'm going to save my marriage. I'm going to stop drinking. I'll go to treatment. I'll get out, and I'll get on that Vivitrol shot. And I'll just smoke pot. And then I'll just maybe dabble in little pills, You got to address the issue at one point, because you're just replacing one for the other, and you're just wasting your time. That's just from my experience. And trust me, I wasted plenty of time. And if I say something that can resonate with you to go, oh, that's right. That's true. I am wasting time. I'm only fooling myself. Then, hey, the podcast did its job today. So, Vivitrol, though, when they first came out with it, it was for weight loss. And I guess it was supposed to kind of do the same thing, block the receptors in your brain that gets the satisfaction from food. And for me, it's sugar. Maybe I should get on Vivitrol for sugar. Because, man, when I taste ice cream, I can't stop now. Seriously, it's bad. But people, they were getting huge doses of it, and they were getting sick, and some people had passed away because they were on Vivitrol shot. So then they're like, if we tone it down a lot, and then they started testing on other things, and that's when they realized it worked for opiates, and then they realized after that, oh yeah, it works for alcohol too. Great. So that's a little backstory. That's what the nurse told me before she gave me the shot. A lot of people too think, oh man, the shot's gonna hurt, and if you get it in a wrong spot by somebody who's not used to giving them, I guess it could be a little bit sore, but it's a shot, man, and they're putting a time release thing into your hip. It's not really in your butt. It's kind of like in your side hip. And, it kind of feels like if you bang it on something, yeah, it kind of feels like, like somebody punched me or I have a bruise, but it's not that bad. It's not that bad at all. Especially, you're not going to be on it for life. You get a shot once a month and it keeps you from getting buzzed. But another piece of advice, though, too, is make sure you take somebody with you. And what I mean by that is, like, for me, it probably, now it would be my girlfriend, Marnie. But back in the day, I don't know. I would have liked it to be my mom, but I don't know if I would have trusted that she would have showed up every time. So I probably would have picked her, just thinking, well, it'd be easy to switch it around on her in a day that she can't be there. I don't know if she would have fell for that. But if I was serious about it, and if I was listening to this podcast and listening to me say, hey, look, take someone with you, I would choose my sister or someone that I know would be down for whenever. If I said on the 30th of every month, or hey, on the 30th of this month, will you go with me? I'll let you know when next month is, when I schedule the appointment after this one, but you need to go with me. Walk me in and watch me pretty much get it. Go as far as you can to have the doctor give you a thumbs up, or the nurse give you a thumbs up when you leave. Like, yep, you got it. Because it was way too easy for me to just lie. It was up to me. Yeah, I'm driving to go get my shot today. And when I started planning my relapses, I would plan it around getting that shot or not getting that shot. And I remember once it was like 2 months where I was just like, okay, it's coming up, football season and this and that. I'm just going to have a weekend. But so for 2 months, I didn't get the shot, and I didn't drink, but I wanted to make sure, though, that I was clear clear from the Vivitrol so that I could catch a buzz. And yeah, ended like the rest of them in the hospital. Horrible. Just feeling like I let the world down, my family, and, just felt sick, sick to my stomach, and just frustrated, mad with myself that I could do this, and, I thought I could, and maybe I was really thinking that I was hoping I would get away with it, that it wasn't going to end like all the rest of the times that it does, or it did. I'm not sure, but yeah, that's my take on Vivitrol, though. If you want it, but you still got to want your recovery. And if Vivitrol can work for you, then that's wonderful. And if that's something that you think you need, that's cool. Just, be careful, talk to your doctor about it. But, at the end of the day, though, that's only going to keep you so safe. If, like I said earlier, if you're still looking for that, well, I'm going to smoke pot now, or I'm going to pop some pills, I can still do that. Depending, obviously, what pills you're taking, because opiates aren't going to work. That's why a lot of people will say, well, that's when I started smoking meth, or, just be careful. You're not trying to replace one for another. But, yeah, if it works for you, go for it. But just make sure that you're, doing stuff in recovery for yourself, going to meetings, talking to friends, going to events in Paw Paw, going to events in Lansing, making new friends, doing sober things together, having fun. It's important to have fun in recovery. I'm not going to tell that story today, but I was going to talk about something that happened the other day, though, and maybe you can figure this one out for me. So if you listen to the podcast on the regular, you probably heard Marnie and I discuss this a week or so ago and how calm I was. She said that the keys, we have vehicles, and one of the keys, like, we both have a set of keys on our key ring to both cars, and one of the sets just came up missing, and we couldn't really figure out what happened to them. And we kind of determined that, okay, the last place we had it, you had the keys at the store, and I asked you if you had them, and you said yes. That's the last time I know those keys existed. And it was around 4th of July. So she was calling this place, this fireworks place. She's like, well, maybe I left them there. And they're like, they were already closed up, so she was feeling pretty nervous and kind of beside herself and kind of losing her mind, looking for these keys. And she looked at me and she was like, how are you so calm with this? Like, this kind of a big deal, and they're not just our car keys, but our house key was on there, and our mail key, and this and that. And I just kind of came to peace with it. I kind of looked at, well, what are the outcomes going to be here? It's going to cost us like $700 to get some new keys made. It's money, but she could find them. Those are the two options. And then I weighed the fact that, okay, me being angry or me trying to make her feel bad, it's not going to bring the keys back. It's not going to drop the keys in my lap. I'm like, hey, here they are. So the point was, why would I get mad at that? Like, why would I make myself angry? And why would I put a person who I love and care about in a situation to make her feel worse? I mean, she already felt bad. So I just chose to just kind of play cool. Like, okay, well, it's going to be one of those outcomes. And if we need to have new keys made, well, we have to get new keys made. If she finds them, great. We don't. And she ended up finding them. Like I said, she left them at the store, and she went back, and they said, yeah, here's your keys. You left them in the checkout lane. So, win-win. And I saved some face, because I could have chose to act like a jerk. I could have chose to, make her feel an inch tall and just, yeah, you're losing the keys. Now it's going to cost us this. Yeah. I didn't do that, so I felt great. Well, here's my dilemma, though, because the other day we were going to Maybe I don't remember. Anyway, we're going to a store and you got to wear your mask.